All right. So I would like to call the meeting to order at 7:01, please. In the room here, I have Brianna from SCTV and Nancy Holt. And if we could do a quick around the horn on the phone here to check in. I think we have Larry Gilmet, you're here, right?
I'm here.
All right. Alicia Anthony's on the phone, correct?
Yep.
Steve Kirby's on the phone, correct?
Correct.
Hi, this is Leon.
Is that you, Rachel? Is that what you said?
Yes, hi.
Okay, Rachel's on the phone, right? Carl Campagno's on the phone, right? Carl, are you there?
Stephanie.
All right, Stephanie's here. And Ed, you're on, correct, too, right?
Yeah, I'm on.
Great. Okay, so I think that's everyone. Did I miss anyone?
Kevin Kelly's on.
Oh, hey, Kevin, how you doing?
Remind him to mute his call.
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Kevin?
Source of our noise.
Okay. If we're not speaking, could we just take the time to mute the phone just so we don't have any background noise? Appreciate it. Okay, great. If we could take a minute just to review the minutes and just let me know if you have any questions or comments on the minutes from, what's the date of the last meeting? From October 14th, that'd be great.
Al Elliott's here from...
Oh, hey Al, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. And Alicia, John Miller has just joined me in the room here also.
And was there someone else in the room as well, Larry?
Nope, Larry's on the phone, yeah.
Okay, so just the two of you in there.
All right, does anyone have any questions or comments on the meeting minutes from October 14th? Nope. All right, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from October 14th as written. Is there a motion? A second, rather?
Second.
Seconded by John Miller. If we could do a quick roll call, Alicia, that'd be great.
Linda?
I don't.
Is Linda here?
Linda's not on the call now.
Larry?
Yes.
Stephanie? Yes. Carl?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
And Steven?
Yes.
John Miller?
Yes.
Steve Kirby, do you vote on these?
Nope. Al was at the last meeting.
I do not.
Oh, Al.
Yes, yes.
Great. All right, great. So all in favor? So the motion moves. Great. So we can get right into this. Yeah, let's get into the first item on the agenda here is the discussion on the senior center project. We'll look to Steve to hand it over to him to give a quick update on where the project is and do a little photo presentation. So Steve, I'll hand it over to you.
Thanks, Steve. Good evening. I'll give you a quick bullet point progress on where we are since the last meeting. On the 15th, the landscaping plantings and materials were delivered to the site. Essentially, the installation was concentrated on the west side of the project and the parking lot islands. Landscape architect was on site on the 19th and reviewed and accepted all plans that had been delivered and reviewed location of the plantings. You'll see in the photo doc. I've got a number of photos of what that area looks like now. Delphi has also started to prep and pour sidewalks on the west side, the front of the senior center, and they've continued to do demolition, although somewhat slowly, in the area of the trailers to take get rid of the curbing and the asphalt that was part of the old circle. Inside the building, the other thing is the tree number 1, which was the tree next to the gym, did get cut down. Excuse me, on the 15th and removed from the site by the tree cutters through the DPW.
Oh, that's good. I appreciate you sending the pictures of that around. That was good. That was definitely definitely worthwhile taking that down. It was definitely some rot in the middle of that.
Yes, yeah, and a number of the more we looked at that tree, the worse it was. So
Yeah.
but so that's gone and off the site. Stump is still there, but we're going to continue to install sidewalks around it. We don't have a date as to when that may be removed.
Okay.
Not yet, anyways. Inside the building, stair number 2 was installed. That's a metal stair, so the auxiliary staircase up to the 2nd floor. Siding installation continues. We are looking to set up some spray testing on windows. There's been some sealant that's added under the stainless steel base flashing. That's at the bottom of the exterior wall over the foundation. And we have we've been continuing to review reports both from EEA, who BH Posey brought in, and the representatives for Pella and the zip wall. Water infiltration, some remedial work has been done. Water infiltration has been greatly reduced from what we saw initially. The thin brick is ready to go. However, the delivery of the brick has been delayed. We actually have the full-size brick, which goes around the columns on the porch, but the thin brick itself has been delayed. We're hoping to get it a delivery this week for the senior center and within 2 weeks for the rec center. However, the mason is ready to go as soon as it gets delivered. Gypsum board and taping is continuing on the 2nd floor, and they're moving into the 1st floor area. The elevator installers are back. They've continued with the hoistway, also installed the door frame, and the masons are blocking in around it in the senior center. The MEPFP's rough-ins are still ongoing throughout the building. We are planning to, or Delphi's planning to pour the 2nd floor gypcrete sometime around the 6th of November. So they're also preparing any issues with the floors and getting the sheetrock done before that occurs. That will probably be done on a Friday to allow it to cure over the weekend.
Does it seem they have their own power hooked up yet, or no?
Permanent power, no.
Okay.
No, they're still running off a generator. We don't know when Ngrid will drop the transformer at this point. We haven't got a date yet,
Oh,
but
that's right. You need the transformer.
contractor's been in touch with them.
Okay.
We are also, I think I mentioned it last week, we are still trying to get dates from Columbia Gas on the gas service. The last correspondence I got is that they had sent it to their construction division. Construction would be marking the road and then filing for a street opening permit with the DPW.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and get an update from them this week on where that stands.
Is the main electrical room built out? Is it in good shape? I mean,
The main electrical room?
yeah.
Yeah. They actually, that was one of the first rooms that they boarded and painted so that it would be ready
Okay.
for the electrician to put panels on the wall.
Got it.
He's got a lot of his switch gear sitting in the building.
Okay.
So no, they're ready for that. And like I said last meeting that the generator is stored off-site. They haven't brought that to the site yet, but it's ready to go whenever they're ready for it.
Good.
As far as the rec center goes, the elevator installers are back working on that. Plumbing and electrical roughs are ongoing up on the second floor level. Like I said, the brick for the elevator shaft is delayed a couple weeks, but again, the masons are ready to go on that. We also had a reported leak in the roof that we're trying to find out exactly where that is. It's on the tennis court side. Now we didn't replace the entire roof membrane, but we did a good portion of it, and it appears that this is coming in an area where it had leaked before because there's a stain on the ceiling. So we're actively trying to find that. Ideally, we would get up there when it was actually raining so we could see it as an active leak. But as we all know, we haven't had all that much rain lately.
Some come in the next couple of days.
It sounds like it. And then the granite for the revision to the main entry that has the traffic control islands, that is due in on November 2nd.
All right.
Any questions on the update before I go into the photo doc?
John Miller has a question in the room, yes?
Hey, Steve, back to the senior building. Did you ever do a window tests?
We haven't yet. We're setting that up. It's sort of a shared cost between the owner and Delphi, the way the spec is written.
Okay.
So it's one of the topics of this. We brought it up last week as one of the topics for discussion for tomorrow to determine exactly who we're going to use, and we want BEA involved in that since BHA brought them in to do the envelope investigation.
Yeah. Okay. And
Yeah, no, it's on the to-do list.
And have we seen any more water? You said we've addressed a lot of it, but did that mean we've eliminated it, or just addressed what we think?
We certainly reduced it. We did see some what appeared to be some damp areas last week in off of the multi-purpose room, but that one bad area that was in the main entry towards the east window, which we really knew where that was coming from because there was some issues with the sheathing and some of the tape. That's been dry.
Okay.
So it appears that's been eliminated.
So it was just those two spots, really?
Well, no, there was a few throughout the building. On the upper floors, I had a couple areas that we determined was there was some flashing that was essentially it was open. It had a fish mouth on the top of it because the siding hadn't been installed yet. So that was another area that was pinpointed and was eliminated. It's always good when you can find out what the issue is.
Yeah.
That way you can eliminate it. The ones that you don't know are the problem ones.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're working on getting that building tight as far as water infiltration goes.
Great. Just thought I'd ask.
How's this loom and hydro seed and the site work going?
Well, everything that was hydroseeded on the west side was tore up by the landscaper, so sort of probably wasn't the best thing to do. There was really no choice on that. I mean, we've got plantings all over that west side of the property, but we notified them that it was obviously that was unacceptable, but so were the other areas. So it really all has to be addressed again.
Okay. All right, keep us posted on that. It's getting later in the season now, but
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
No, I have none.
All right,
Nope, I'm good.
let's get into the photo log here then, see what we got.
Yeah, this will give you a visual on some of the things I was just talking about. The first, page 2, the first photo, that was the tree at the gym before it got cut down. The next photo is after it was gone. Just the stump is left. Next photo, close up of the stump, but you can see,
There you go, yeah.
you know, it had some rot areas in it, even in the stump. But there was a hole in the lower section and in the upper section of that main trunk. Big tree, but
Yeah,
they took it down pretty quick.
yeah.
Actually, the guy was in a Bolson's chair,
Oh, well.
hanging off a crane. Yeah, a little crazy, but next photo, page 5, just a view up from up on the roof of the senior center, looking west at it's the start of the landscaping. You can see where they rolled in with the bobcat and sort of ripped up through the hydro seed. Really didn't have much choice on that. Next photo, again, sort of the same thing, sort of facing out towards First Parish at the what will be the new entry. Page 7, just showing where they were staging all the planting materials. This was early on. Once the materials got delivered, I think the second or third day after.
Steve, when are they gonna start the fence work over there? Does it come?
The fence is in fabrication.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So as soon as that arrives, they can run that west side. This next few photos, just sort of a progression of the west side of the property from the field side of the parking lot, heading towards First Parish. You can see the new plantings, the light pole bases, some stored materials. Page 9, same thing. Page 10. See the density of what's been planted. Obviously, all that's going to grow. Page 11, that's the plantings around the transformer pad. And page 12 is from the transformer pad facing towards the northwest corner of the property. Page 13, just a view of some of the line sets for the VRF system, sprinkler, ductwork. Again, MEP rough-ins are ongoing. Page 14, and just another progression of those lines that's in one of the corridors up on the second floor. The orange piping is the sprinkler branches coming off of the main. Page 15, second floor room in the southwest room, showing sheetrock up and taping ongoing. They're actually clearing out of that area, cleaned up the second floor quite a bit. Page 16, it's a view of stair number 2. That's like I said, the second set of stairs that are required up to the second floor. Actually comes out in the veterans office suite area. Page 17, the view of the second floor elevator door. The door frame has been put in. The masons are tubing in the CMU around it. Next page is showing prep of the sidewalks under the porch area at the main entry. This is the south elevation of the main entry. Next photo is running on the west side where the offices are at the main entry to the senior center. Page 17 is showing the safety stainless steel safety bollards This is in the area of the drop-off, which is on the south end of the building at where the B-wing is.
Steve, those are the 5-footers?
Page 21 is showing the initial pour that they did at the front entry to the senior center. And if you look in the background, there's a couple of other sections that they were pouring, that they'd have control joints in between. This is sort of view from the parking lot facing into the main entry. Get your bollards, your sidewalk, your the porch posts are going to have PVC covers down to the boxes, and the boxes will have full brick around them. That brick is actually on site. Those piers will be made out of brick.
Hey, John, did you have a question on the bollards?
I was gonna say, those are the 5-foot bollards, Steve?
No, I don't think they called for 5 foot in front of the building.
Oh.
I'd have to look at the dimension,
I
but
think that was just around the transformer.
Yeah, okay.
yes, yeah, the transformers are the ones they had to be extended.
Yeah.
Okay, and second question, just from a visual perspective, it literally looks like there's a sag in the concrete right in front of the door. It doesn't look completely on a line.
Okay, we can check that tomorrow when we're on site.
Thank you.
I think the door is ajar a little bit. That may be throwing it off. But yeah,
it could
we'll
be,
bring a
yeah.
level down, take a look at it.
The angle of, where you were standing, or...
Okay. And then slide 23 is just some of the progression of the siding. Any questions on the photos? No, I have none.
No, it's looking pretty good.
Okay. The next item I have is a little COVID-19 update. Has nothing to do with what's going on in the site, but we did get or we were forwarded a letter from Delphi, who got it from his interior door supplier, that they are claiming that because of disruptions and delays due to COVID, that the interior doors and frames will not be delivered until middle of December, which is a little cause for concern, since that we're at that point we're about a month away from being a substantially complete month and a half. I've asked for more information because it was a rather light letter, but that's what Delphi's supplier forwarded to us, who is getting it from the door manufacturer, which is Masonite. So again, I've asked for when the doors were released, when they expected them originally, and more detail on why there's a delay. They did not. I suspect they're meaning that the plant was shut down, but they don't say that in their letter. So we also know that there's a delay on the operable petition. We had actually heard that on another job. The same is occurring here, although they think they're going to get their track. May not be in time to do the sheetrocking that they want to do in the sequence they want to do, but should be in before we need it. And we're also hearing that kitchen appliances, more on the residential side, there's delays on that. We have not heard anything on food service equipment delays. As a matter of fact, they have a bunch of the materials stored in their warehouse. So as far as the commercial kitchen goes, we seem to be in okay shape.
Is all the MEP, everything, all that
Uh,
stuff, you have all that stuff anyways, right?
Mechanical?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, all the rooftop units are there. We didn't hear anything from the HVAC subcontractors as far as any delays on his end. We really haven't heard much on the electrician. He's been getting light fixtures delivered. So that's all good.
All right.
Just also as an update, we do have the furniture packages. They're out to bid. They are due on Friday.
Okay.
So we'll know where we stand as far as budget goes there.
Great.
If there's no other questions, the only other thing that I have before I turn it over to Rachel is change order number 8 to review.
Yeah, we can do that.
There's no requisition to review. They just submitted the pencil yesterday, and there's no other invoices.
Yeah, we get the other one last meeting. All right. Yeah, if you want to go over this change order, we can do that. So you get another meeting, right?
I do, yes.
All right.
Okay, change order 8. There are 6 PCOs included in this change order. The total is a credit of $10,249.78. It consists of PCO number 30, which was bulletin number 27 for some revisions in the recreation center. Essentially, this was some revisions at the new ramp that was being installed. There was some existing block that had to be patched, and some painting that was required when the old railings came out that was not shown on the drawings. We also had some changes to the acoustical ceiling in what was once the men's room. It's the raised toilet room. That's since been changed to a women's room. But there is an existing duct that runs through that room that was to remain part of the existing system in the rec center. So it conflicted with the ceiling, so the ceiling had to be raised, which required the duct to be finished painted, and to extend gypsum board up to meet the new ceiling height. So that PCO totaled $2,038.23. The next PCO is 49R1, which was bulletin 33. It was from some flooring revisions in the rec center. It was to remove and install new VCT at the bottom of the stair landing, the south stair landing that goes from the old locker area to the gymnasium, and also the break room, as requested by the town, and then also installation of a walk-off mat at the new main entry on the south side of the building, adjacent to the tennis courts, for the rec department.
Yeah.
That totaled $2,068.36. PCO 62, that was a revision to the entrance drive to the carriage house as requested by the Historical Society. It was originally a hard surface bituminous concrete path. They wanted to change to a stone dust half circle, incorporating the front of the building. The area was already prepped for the bituminous concrete, but we stopped the contractor from installing it, and the total for that change is $400.17.
Okay.
PCO number 63. was for bulletin 62R, which was the deletion of a ramp. In the original documents, there was a concrete ramp with handrails that was in the line of the sidewalk that ran essentially from sidewalk that comes in from First Parish and runs in front of the B wing to the gym. It called for again a concrete ramp and stainless steel handrails. It was mainly because of the grading in that area, but Coastal was able to revise the grading so that the sidewalk is still there, but now it's just bituminous with no railings and none of the concrete. So this was a value engineering change that totaled a credit of $16,157.33. The access didn't change. It's just what was actually being installed changed. PCO 65. This was the bollard covers at the transformer. This was as JG had asked. Basically, Engrid wanted a certain height on the bollards that surrounded the transformer. We were able to do that with bollard covers. The amount being $482.11. And PCO 67 was bulletin 69. This was to add lighting to the large attic space. Previously, we had issued a CCD for the 3 other attic spaces, but this one was left out, but it is required because we have utilities up in the attic spaces. And this total of $918.68. Again, total of this change order is a credit of $10,249.78.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it looks consistent with stuff we've discussed before. Yeah, the ramp change seems fine. I mean, that still meets all ADA requirements and all that stuff.
Correct, yes. Okay. Very, very specific on the slope and cross slope.
Got it. Any questions by the board or any members? No.
Nope. No.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to approve change order number 8, which includes PCO number 30, 49R1, 62, 63, 65, and 67 in the amount of a credit of $10,249.78. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Larry. If we could do a roll call, Alicia, that'd be great.
Al?
Yes.
Al doesn't
Ed?
vote. But
Ed, yes.
Carl?
Yes.
Stephanie? Yes. John?
Yes?
Larry?
Yes.
And Steve?
Yes. All right, that's everybody. All right, everybody's approved, so the motion passes. Great. All right, I think that's. Does anyone else have anything for Steve on the project? No. All right, great. All right, Steve, thank you for the update.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve.
Looking good.
Thank you very much.
Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. Yep. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night, thank you.
Good night.
All right, so moving along, the next item on the up here is just some review of the exterior signage and some discussion on the exterior signage with Rachel from BH+A. So Rachel, I'll hand over the mic to you here.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes.
So we've been having discussions with Al Elliott and Linda and JD about the exterior signage, and I sent through this afternoon to Steve 2 elevations of the north elevation. The north elevation is the side of the building that faces First Parish, and the west elevation, which is the side that faces the abutters in essence. And what we're proposing is to put the numbers, the address, the 333 on the north elevation, and to put the name of the building, Scituate Senior Center, on the west elevation. And on the west elevation, the building on the west side is composed of those three white house structures, if you will. And what we're proposing is we're putting the Scituate Senior Center letters on the center of those three massings. Then the second piece of signage that we'd like to amend is the signage at the front entry. I think that one of the weaknesses, if you will, of our design is that the front entry is kind of towards the back off the street, so it's not intuitive. And so we wanted to put signage next to the front entry to kind of draw your attention to that door, so it was abundantly clear that this is the main entrance. There are also a lot of doors in the building, and so we really wanted to highlight that one door. And so what we're proposing next to the main entry door is to put a larger round sign of the Scituate seal, and then around the seal we would have the word Scituate Senior Center. So I know that I've sent along those elevations, those studies to Steve.
Yeah.
And I guess for next steps, should I send those out to everyone on the board? I know that we're a little limited in how we can review images in these conference calls.
I sent them out. Except
Okay.
I sent out the full sign. I haven't sent out the one next to the door because that one was just sent. But
Okay.
it does. I mean, Al, you've reviewed it from the fire department's point of view. That the street number and everything looks in a visible kind of spot that would be okay for you folks.
Yeah, actually, we're going to call that the A side of the building or the front of the building anyway, so the west side. So, yeah, that would be fine for us.
Okay.
Is there going to be a sign on the street so when people drive by they know it's the senior center, since the words are on the west side, not facing the street?
So we're proposing that all the signage be on the building itself. There wouldn't be any freestanding monumental signage.
So I think the original design was it had the sign up on the gabled end there, right, on the side facing the street.
It had it on the north side, you're correct. It wasn't quite so high as the gable, but it was about halfway up the building, so it was fairly high up. It was visible. It was visible from the street. Driving to the site, the signage, the 333 is still going to be in that same location, so that's definitely visible whether you're coming east or west down First Parish. But the wording Scituate Senior Center is most visible, obviously, heading east down First Parish.
Yeah. No, I kind of similar not concerns, but observation as Ed does. I just think it's hard to identify the building at this point from the street. Maybe I don't.
I would just think if you're a guest from out of town trying to find the building, you typically you're looking for a sign that's on the street to identify the building. I think it's going to be hard for someone not familiar or not knowing that's the building. They might drive right by it.
Mm-hmm.
Did we have any approvals from any sign from the planning board on a monument sign or no?
Not yet, and we never had proposed monumental signage. We do have to file just a regular sign permit application, and we'll do that. I think we want to get to a further, to a resolution, if you will, on what exactly that signage will look like. But we had never proposed doing any monumental signing. I'm not saying I'm opposed to it. I'm just saying that that was not necessarily our intent.
Has that been discussed with the senior center board, John, at all, or?
No, we haven't had the opportunity yet.
Has Linda? I know she's not on the call, but has she mentioned anything about it, Rachel, or no?
Yeah, Linda and I
She's
talked about
seen she's seen the signage we proposed. I don't think she really had any major objections to it. And I'm not. I don't know that we're opposed in any way to the suggestions you're making. I think it would just require further study and review with all the invested parties, if you will.
Yeah.
I think this is JD. I think Linda. and I sort of, I think talked, I can't tell if it was texting or emailing or what, but we assumed also that we probably have some town signs saying, senior center, this way, the sign that's out at First Parish.
Yeah.
Harbor is this way and Greenbush, we'd add to that sign that says senior center this way. Or, so there'll be other signs around town that will maybe point to the new campus. If we had something on the street, it might be good. That was my concern. That was my concern, which is simply, if someone's coming from out of town, they're coming from the harbor, they're not going to see anything until they drive by the building. But I like the senior center wording over the second panel on the west-facing side. That fits very well.
Yeah, it looks sharp. I mean, what's the harm in putting it in both places, Rachel? Is it?
So I think the only hesitation we have to putting the signage, the full signage with the name of the building on the north side is that unfortunately the emergency generator has a stack associated with it, an exhaust, and we didn't want to compete with that. And that was really what was triggering this revision. If we didn't have the stack coming out of the generator, I think we would have just left the signage on the north elevation. Another possibility, and I'm just really, this is just a suggestion to consider, and again, I think looking at this on site with everyone is probably the best way to really appreciate where the signage would be best. But it might be possible, or should be considered, to put signage on the east side of the building, on the brick side, because that is what's visible as you're coming from the harbor.
Yeah, that's
So in effect, to have on both sides of the building.
That might be nice. Yeah. When do you need a decision on this?
So the contractor hasn't submitted on the signage yet. So from that perspective, this is not urgent, so I think it will become sooner.
Okay.
I can certainly ask the contractor tomorrow in the meeting when they're thinking that, they would want to do the installation of the signage, and then we can work backwards from that deadline.
And the name is baked. The name is like that's the name.
Yeah, and so the name, my understanding is the name is Scituate Senior Center. It's not being named after anyone. I did ask Linda at one point, they have a lovely hand-carved wooden sign that's at the current center.
Yeah.
And I'd always, I think that's particularly, I don't know, I've always had a place for that sign. And I think Linda's only hesitation to reuse it is that it does have the previous donor's name on it. And she didn't think that name was getting carried over to the new center.
Got it. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's get some. I mean, I like where it is on the side right now, and on the numbers obviously works for the fire. The emergency people. Maybe we can get a drawing of what it looks like on the other side too, and maybe have a visual on it, and then I guess we should probably vote on it sooner than later because you're going to bring this to the planning board, correct?
Yes, we do have to bring it to the planning board.
So yeah, that'll eat up a little time. So I'm thinking probably next meeting or two, we should probably make some decisions on this.
And what I can certainly do is we have renderings that we've done all along with both sides of the building, and it'd be very easy to put the lettering on the rendering so you can actually see what the vantage is from the street. I think that'll help.
Yeah. Does that sound fair to everyone? All right.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well,
Okay.
that's great. Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Any further discussion on the senior center? No? All right. Great.
Thank you.
All right. Moving right on to the next item on the agenda here is the chat about the public safety complex and the EOC, HVAC, and kind of where we're at there. I don't know if Kevin is available to give a quick update. I mean, nothing.
Nothing large in the sense of an update, other than that we do have a proposal from GG&D for the proposal of $4,500. I requested we make a purchase order for $6,000 because they put in the proposal to just cover addressing the cooling situation. And it's also, heat is also an issue in the building. It's not as much of an issue as the cooling, but it's also an issue. So that proposal has been sent in, and we need approval of that. I think, Nancy, do we need approval by the board, or is it money outside of that?
You approved by PDC, not the board of selectmen.
Okay. Did you send that proposal over, Kevin?
Yeah, we have,
Yes, I sent it last week.
Oh, you sent it last week, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I did forward that out, I did, yeah. So that's $6,000 just for, the engineering review, or the engineering design and engineering?
Yes, just for the engineering design to address the shortcomings of the HVAC system in the EOC.
All right, and that's an additional to the WSP work we did?
Yes, it is.
I thought WSP was supposed to do some of that finding.
No, WSP, they just identify problems and suggest solutions. They weren't doing any actual engineering or design work.
Okay. Nancy just stepped out to grab the proposal. So that's 6,000 for the. Is that just for the EOC, or is that for other areas too?
Just the EOC, that's the only area we're having significant problem in. The other areas that we may have issues we've addressed.
Okay, good.
So this is just for HVAC in the EOC.
Okay. I'm trying to think what would we retain for budget on the public safety complex?
you have $35,000 for the EOC, HVAC.
Yeah. So that's, you said 39?
35.
35.
So I can grab it.
I'll take 39.
So that's 35, and then you're eating into another 6, that leaves you, 29 to get the work done. Is that seem in the wheelhouse of what you could do, or?
I think it could be, yes. We have to see what they come back with.
This is Ed. I have a question about their proposal, their scope of services. They're excluding bid phase services and preparing the front-end bid documents, like your typical contract for construction and the supplemental conditions, general conditions, all of those kinds of documents. Who's actually going to handle the bidding of this? Is it going out for public bidding, or are we going to go directly to maybe 3 contractors and give them the plans and specs to provide pricing?
So some of that would be answered by what the actual suggestion or solution is and what the cost would be. If the cost is reasonable, then it would just be 3 prices. If it's a larger cost, then for procurement, we'll have to go out to a bigger audience in the central register and all that stuff. But I don't feel like we've gone that far yet until we know what they're going to propose.
Okay, so they might need, if it's going to be a full-fledged central register ad and publicly bid, then the MEP company may ask for more money to help with the bid phase then and put the front-end documents together.
If we do it through them, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But if we do it on our own, no.
Okay.
I know, I'm almost thinking maybe, we've gone this far, I don't know if we can tighten up, just tighten up this quote a little more, because you're saying it's 4,000, then you need to include the heat. You think it's worth going back to them and just tighten it up a little bit, and like Ed's saying, including some of this documentation, so we get a real picture of what we're looking at,
I've already reached out to them about including the heat, and I have not got a response from them. I can follow back up on that.
Yeah.
I'm hesitant to go the next step on the bidding and the documents and stuff, because A, that will drive the cost way up on the proposal, and B, we're not even sure what the proposal is going to actually be.
Right.
So that, to me, it's kind of a three-step approach, and that would be part of the next steps.
I was just thinking of getting, a ballpark ad alternate on there for that phase of it, or like an A and a B phase.
Yeah, I can do that. We can do that.
All right. Does that sound fair to everyone to get this tightened up, and we'll take a good look at it?
Yeah.
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 We're making progress. Let's keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, we want to get this one right, obviously. This one's the last and final here, right? All right, let's do that, Kevin, and get that tightened up, and we'll look at it next meeting and get the decision for you on that one.
Okay, thank you.
All right, anything else in the public safety complex for anyone? All right, moving right along.
No, I have none. No questions.
Okay. So moving right on, library project. So the one last remaining item there is open with the generator, which is, Kevin was doing some engineering, getting some quotes together, and then we were going to look at the quotes. And then I guess it would be a decision, and then we'd have to go to the Board of Selectmen and see about funding and all that fun stuff. So, I don't know, Kevin, where you were still
Correct,
with
and
engineering with that?
yeah, we're still with engineering. We had to reach back out to the electrical engineer because there was some things on the specifications that weren't clear as we were putting it out for the Central Register and the paper and advertising and meeting all those requirements. We are hoping that we can hit the paper next week, but realistically it'll probably be the week after because budgets are due next week. So,
Yeah.
but we're hoping we can hit the paper within a week or two, and that would probably give us a bid date of around the last week of November, be first week of December.
Okay.
Bids would be due. We'd have to do the walkthroughs and go through the whole process and do all those things, but that's the timeline, sitting with Sean and engineering that we think we're looking at right now.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I imagine the engineers are kind of jammed up right now with everything going on, but that seems fair. Anyone have any questions or comments on that generator status?
Yes, I have a quick question. Kevin, if everything falls into budget, will this construction take the next step and try to get everything in for this winter?
We would probably be close to the winter by the time we got signed, sealed, and delivered if everything went fine, but I think a lot of the work could start and we could start working on it, sure.
Okay. Yeah, that's good news, yeah.
There is significant digging involved and so forth, so if we had a cold winter and lost the ground and had the freeze issue, then that would impact us, but for the most part, we'd like to just continue to go on with it.
And you and
Right,
your...
and one of our previous meetings, I think you were still thinking about going gas or diesel.
Diesel.
I say
diesel.
Natural gas.
Yes. No, we're not going natural gas. We're going diesel.
Okay.
The natural gas was not available on the street.
Yep.
It was going,
Oh,
and it was going
all right.
to add more cost.
Okay.
All right.
I
The
don't
gas
have any
is
other
there, but
questions.
the gas is there, but not enough gas.
Yes.
Got you. Okay.
All right. Any other comments or questions?
No, I'm all set. Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you for the update, Kevin. I appreciate it. Let us know what we
Okay.
can do to help out.
Thank
or
you.
If you need a hand with anything or review anything, we're here to help support. So, Good.
Okay, thank you. Be careful what you wish for.
Good. All right, so that closes out the library project. Any old business or new business? And then it's Ed's last meeting, Ed. We appreciate it again. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I've enjoyed the many years working with everybody on the committee and in the town.
Great.
Okay, good luck in your future time. You're going to have all kinds of time when you're here now.
I know, right?
I'll find something to do. Thank you.
You'll have to stop by at a couple of meetings
Okay.
and heckle us or something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, anything from anyone else?
No.
All right.
No.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:57. Is there a second?
Second?
All right, seconded by Carl. If you could do a quick roll call, Alicia, that'd be great.
Ed?
Yes.
Stephanie? Yes, thanks, Ed.
Thank you.
Larry?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Carl?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes. And Al.
Yes.
Oops, sorry, Al. Thank you.
That's okay.
All right, all in favor, so the motion passes and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.